Welcome back for week 6 of the College Football Challenge. For those who are interested in Beat the Host Challenge, you can find the link on our Facebook and Twitter page. And good luck. Alright. So do we have a winner outside of us? So no one beat the host. 9 out of 10. Hey, I might catch you if I keep doing that. That's probably a one-time thing.
Yeah, you got to have a 900 win percentage. Because I got a couple weeks on you, but I'm not. I don't pick these games as I pick them as a fan. So
Well,
I mean, I know a little bit, but I try to pick as a fan.
I understand why y'all took Utah, but UCA was basically at home game for them. Didn't they play at the Rose Bowl?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a home game, and over under was, I don't even think it was 4.5 or 5. I'm like, well, you got to go home team with that one. That was the only reason I took UCLA. They had Chip Kelly as coach. He's a good coach.
Yeah.
So I took your tech tip from the week before. Look at it, coach. The coach won.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, sometimes that works, or a lot of times that works. I should rephrase that. Well, the same thing at I think at the Texas and Oklahoma game. I think Oklahoma is going through some growing pains with a new coach and things out there. They got absolutely throttled by Texas. Tennessee looked good against LSU, an LSU team that's probably just middle of the pack SEC this year.
Yeah, they're 4-2, 2-1 SEC. 40-13 is a bad showing.
Kansas put up a good game against TCU.
Yes, they did.
Almost had a chance to pull it out. Then you got UTSA or Carolina and Miami. We all just like Miami around here. So moving on.
But I thought, NC State struggled with Florida State. I really thought that was going to be a more lopsided game.
And it's amazing that NC State won because their starting quarterback went down with a shoulder injury in the third quarter. Or in the second quarter. No, it was the third. I think it was the third quarter.
Yeah.
And then, Florida State had a 17-3 lead. And then 2 really bad interceptions in the, I think it was in the fourth quarter or just in the second half. 2 really bad ones, especially the one on the drive to win the game. Wide receiver didn't run a good route. They threw a fade from the far hash, which usually you don't do that. So that's kind of odd. Kansas State pulled it out. Iowa State is not very good this year. USC and UCLA are probably the 2 best teams in the Pac-12. So that'll be a end of the year showdown. And then BYU.
BYU let me down. Y'all let me down, BYU. If you're listening, you let me down. I would have went 10 for 10. No pressure. It's just Notre Dame.
Yeah, they definitely bounced back after the Marshall game, though.
Yes.
Good overall weekend of football. The Alabama game was a good game. I don't know if you got to see the end of that.
I saw part of it until I passed out.
Actually, it was a sloppy game. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, Alabama had 4 turnovers. Was that correct?
Yeah, I think the backup quarterback, because the backup quarterback played, Bryce Young sat.
Right, yeah. Hell, he had more yards than the rest of the offense.
Yeah.
But is Jimbo Fisher the kryptonite, though? Is it just Jimbo? It was a sloppy game, like you said, but it was a close game at 24-20. Does Jimbo know something the rest of us don't?
No, I just think the quarterback just played that just really bad.
That bad?
Yeah, I don't think. I think you put Bryce Young in there, and it's a totally different game.
Yeah, yeah.
True. And the turnovers, you got to think if Texas A&M is +4 in turnovers, but they lost the game by 24-20. Yeah. How do you lose a game that you're +4 in turnovers?
Something's wrong with the offense. Something's wrong.
Yeah, it's tough to do.
It's a young team, like we've talked about before, but +4. Got to win those.
Yeah, usually when there's a couple things they say, right? So one of them is you'll always hear a coach say, or anybody really knows anything about football, is you win the turnover battle. You win that, and 9 times out of 10, you win the game.
Absolutely.
We just saw the one time that you don't. It's just your offense is so putrid and your quarterback's so bad that you just can't do anything.
So this weekend, week 7, 12 o'clock games. We got some games at 12 o'clock. So the Big Ten, I think we're going to see who's going to be the big dog in the Big Ten with Michigan and Penn State.
Actually surprised Penn State's 5-0.
Hey, they're 5-0. Call it what you want. That's going to be interesting. And
I definitely take Kansas over Oklahoma.
I hope Kansas just whoops Oklahoma stupid. Sorry, Oklahoma. Come on, Jay Birds.
Yeah. Minnesota and Illinois. That could potentially be a really good game. It's almost a toss-up. I'm not sure what the spread is, but just based on looking at it, it's probably single-digit spread, be my guess.
The 3:30 game, there's 2 of them that look very interesting here. We got the West Division, SEC, Alabama and Tennessee, at Tennessee. What do you think about that?
I think Alabama better come to play.
They better. Tennessee's looking sharp this year.
Well, they're going to score points. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, if Alabama's defense can't stop the run and make it a one-sided game, it's going to be a grinder. And then we got TCU and Oklahoma State both undefeated in the Big 12. So that's going to be an interesting game too.
Have you watched Oklahoma State?
I've seen some of it the week before.
Oh, yeah, we had a game.
Yeah. Can't remember who they played. Yeah, that's
a toss-up game.
Yeah, is that a neutral field? Do you know?
That's Texas Christian.
So that's TCU. So that's a home game for TCU.
Yeah. So I forget what the stat is. I think home field advantage gives you a minimum of 3 points. I want to say 3 points there. So it's gonna be a close one.
Let me see what the over/under is real quick. See if
Georgia's back to number 1. Which one? We're talking about Oklahoma and TCU?
Yeah.
Over under 68.5, and the line is -3.5 TCU. Yeah, home field, pretty much.
They're giving Alabama 7.5 at Tennessee.
Yeah, with a 65.5 over under. It's probably going to be over. I'd take the over on that if I was a betting man. And 7.5 is. Are they playing at? Yeah, they're playing at Tennessee.
They're at Tennessee.
So they're saying that Alabama's defense is going to get some stops. Is basically what they're saying.
Yeah.
The next one's NC State and Syracuse. I'd watch out for Syracuse. They've been lighting it up.
They're calling that 3.5 Syracuse, and they're at home. So that's about a scratch game, according to the bookie.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to be close. I'm assuming that Devin Leary broke his collarbone or his clavicle or something. He's probably not going to play. So it's going to be the backup QB for NC State.
We got Clemson and Florida State. That should be a
Clemson.
No-brainer for Clemson, I think. Sorry, Florida State.
Yeah.
Mississippi State and Kentucky. That's interesting.
I think Mississippi State wins that game in a blowout. I think Mississippi State's really good this year. Well,
they're playing really well. They're playing well.
And Kentucky's coming off a bad loss.
Who did they lose to last week?
They lose to.
No, they won last week.
No, they lost South Carolina.
24-14, sorry.
They might be mad. They might be a mad Kentucky team, but they're coming off a bad loss. Shane Beamer did some trolling.
They're at Kentucky. They're giving Mississippi State 7.
I think that's based on Mississippi State and where they rank
Yeah.
scoring offense.
Yeah. I think that's a safe bet.
I say Mike Leach is good for a really good team. He's kind of like Dan Mullen. So he's good for a really good team, and really good for Mike Leach, I would say, is like 9-3, 10-2. Every 4 to 5 years. So when a recruiting class matures, basically, is when he's due for a good year, similar to Dan Mullen.
That makes sense.
And they're both really good schemers, but they're not, for whatever reason, they're weird. Both of them are very weird.
Well, he does have some mullet still, but anyway.
I mean, among other things. But
I am thinking of the right guy, right?
Yeah. His press conference. No, you're thinking of Gundy.
Oh, Gundy, yeah.
Leach might have. I mean, he kind of probably looks like he's got a mullet. But no, his press conferences are gold if you get him talking about anything other than football.
Well, oh yeah, I have to pay attention to that then.
All right, so I'm probably taking Mississippi on the Kentucky game. USC and Utah, take USC there. Probably take Washington in the Oregon State game. What do you think?
I'm going to have to defer on that. I'm going to have to do some research.
Georgia's damn near got a cupcake this week.
And they'll probably struggle with it.
I mean, they were struggling with Auburn in the first half, and then they turned it on. Saw Stetson Bennett had a 75-yard touchdown to himself.
Yeah, did you see that run?
No, it probably looked like my son running across the front yard.
And they couldn't run him down.
Bad, ain't it? When your legs are that short, you just take so many more steps.
I'm saying. Ain't like you're sprinting with them. That was a 70-yard run.
Ole Miss is another one that's sneaky 6-0.
Oh, are they?
If they can hold on.
Yep.
I don't know.
I'm sorry.
I don't know who Ole Miss plays. I know they got to play Alabama at some point, but right now they're in second place. If they find a way to beat Alabama, they could be in the SEC championship game as long as they don't lose anything else that's stupid.
Ole Miss has Auburn coming up. They got Auburn, LSU, Texas A&M, Alabama, Arkansas. Then they finish with Mississippi State.
I think the two hardest games left for them are probably Alabama and Mississippi State, with Texas A&M could be a toss-up.
Yep. Depends on if Texas A&M shows up.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be the difference with them this year.
See what Mississippi State, what's their schedule look like?
They have Kentucky this week, then Bama, Auburn, Georgia.
Oh, they got to play Georgia.
ETSU, then Ole Miss.
If I were Georgia, I would be worried. But they lost to LSU, which is weird. I don't know how they lost that game to LSU.
Yeah, I did not see that game.
Yeah, they lost 31-16 to LSU. I'm not sure what happened there, but everybody else they've blown out. They've only played one. Mississippi State beat Texas A&M pretty bad 2 weeks ago.
Well, pulling up stats here for that game, LSU, Mississippi State. LSU put 21 on them in the fourth. So it was a tight game going into the fourth. Yeah, here's the difference. Mississippi State only had 75 yards rushing. LSU put 207 yards of rushing alone on them.
Yeah.
Both of them had right at a little over 200 yards passing. That was the difference in the game.
The Ole Miss and Mississippi State both got to play Alabama still. Mississippi State's got to play Georgia. Tennessee still has Alabama, Kentucky, Georgia. They haven't even really gotten to the meat of the SEC schedule yet, so they still got.
Yeah, they got some dog fights to go.
They play the rest of the East is the back half of their schedule.
Yeah, so this
the cupcake game.
Yeah, the Alabama Tennessee game. This is probably going to be the dividing line for the West.
Yeah,
because one of them could come out of there number one in the West, and the other one's going to be second fiddle.
Ole Miss still has the rest of. Yeah, they got to still play the West, so they got Auburn, LSU, A&M, Alabama, Arkansas, then Mississippi State. It's going to be an interesting second half. Even Florida, the back half of the schedule, the front half of our schedule was loaded. The back half is not as bad. But the scheduling this year has been really weird. Like, this is the third time we've gone to Texas A&M. They've never played on our field.
Oh, really? I didn't realize that.
Yeah, so our schedule's kind of backloaded a little bit too. So we got LSU. I mean, we played ranked teams. We played 3 ranked teams so far. We got LSU, then Georgia, A&M, Carolina, Vanderbilt, Florida State.
Yeah. And Georgia's got Vandy this weekend. We're off. And then we play the Gators. We got Jacksonville. I'm sorry. Then Tennessee, Mississippi State, Kentucky, and then Tech.
Damn, you got Tennessee the week after you play us?
Yes. And where are we? Is that a home
That could
game?
be rough. Depending on which Georgia team shows up to play Florida, that could be rough.
Oh, versus Tennessee. So that must be a home game then. I'm sorry. Yeah. So Georgia at home. So if someone is still interested in beating the host, you can post your score or join us. Find the link and the password at our Facebook and Twitter page.
Please, if anybody has any questions or comments, hit us up at primecohesion@gmail.com or head to our Facebook page at Prime Cohesion on Facebook and leave some comments. We'd appreciate it.